shut up for a minute? We gotta get you the fuck out of Dodge, man. We're going to Vegas tonight.
What are you talking about, Vegas?
Vegas, baby, Vegas.
Hey everybody, welcome back craps enthusiasts, and of course to everybody else who happens to be joining right now for the first time, welcome to my madness. Hey, if you are new and you kind of want to follow along with this very simple strategy, you guys know what to do. You can go ahead and hit the bell, slam it, beat it up, or whatever you need to do to make sure you're getting notifications on when my next videos are coming out. And watch along with my slow process of building up a bankroll with discipline and diligence to stick to the strategy by all means possible. I was able to figure out the interface here. Yeah, I was having problems with, I guess, the site. I was using Firefox, and I guess it didn't like Flash. So I switched over to Chrome. I had a little bit more luck with that. And then I moved to Safari, and it really did well. It could have been the settings I had set up within Chrome that kept that from happening, but who knows? It's working now. I'm happy with this interface, and I'm sure you guys have seen something similar, and it does allow for a pass line and don't pass bet. So I think they call that Manhattan betting. I can't remember. My memory is not very good these days. So if you happen to know what that bet is called when you put them on both lines, go ahead and do me a favor and comment below. Also, if you're interested in helping out the channel and you kind of want to take a little bit of money and put it into online gambling using Bitcoin, you can help the channel out and yourself out. I'm going to put a link down below. It's going to be my email address. Go ahead in the comments and let me know you sent me an email so I can check the account and get you the link to Coinbase, which is a exchange wallet that'll allow you to get $10. I get $10. It's a win-win situation. Life is good. So go ahead and do that below and take things from there on this very simple strategy that I have to refresh the page because I talk too much. So let's see if I can do this without having to close the whole thing out. Okay, hang on a second, guys. Okay, one thing to keep in mind when you're using this, sometimes you have to allow Flash to activate, and then you have to close it all out, and then you have to re-enter the table so it can fire it up. All right, so here I am on my very, very, very basic, low and slow, just like cooking a really good roast on the barbecue. Low and slow is the way to do it. And is this strategy a grind? Yes, but I'll go ahead and put a link above on the reasons why I came up with this in case you're new. It's consistent for me, as I'm pretty confident it's going to be consistent for you as well. Okay, so I'm going to start off by placing my bets right there and right there. I'm going to roll it to establish that point. Doesn't really matter if the point is established when you're first starting out, but it kind of gets over some craziness that always seems to happen. There is the 7 that would have killed me, and there we have it. So I'm going to take my ones. I'm going to make sure it's on the place line. I'm going to go ahead and lay them out. I'm just going to go for a couple bucks here. Again, my thought process with gambling is the turtle wins the race. I want to do everything possible to make sure I'm comfortable with making small wins and gradually building it up. It's kind of my thought behind it, and that's what works for me in the discipline. Now, I used to have not very good luck a long time ago when I played. You know, I played the hard ways, and I played the press, and I played the push, and I played all. See, there's the 7. So that's why it's very important to wait till you get a come out. I'm sorry, to make sure your point is established at the come out, because again, 7s come in groups. All right. Anyway, I had a problem, and one time I went out and busted $5,000 in a weekend, and of course, back then I was really wild and crazy, and I kept awake by putting white powder up my nose. So that was a lesson I learned, to try to step back from the game. Okay, it didn't happen at that top level, right? So unfortunately what I have to do is I have to clear it all, in case you're new, and I have to unfortunately take the time to wait for that 7. So instead of you sitting here waiting till I do that, I'm going to pause the video and wait till I get the 7. Okay, another thing to keep in mind is you have to make sure you have both bets up, especially of course when the point is established. Otherwise you're kind of screwed and the interface will lock you out. So hang on while I go ahead and refresh this, and then I'm going to start off at the 5s level. Hold tight. Okay, I'm back again, and I noticed that it's must be keeping a cookie on my computer, or perhaps on their server, because when I restarted it up, it knew exactly what bet I had previous, and kind of screwed me out. But it's something to keep in mind. Clear your cache. But anyway, let me go ahead and pause it and wait for that 7 to kick in, and then I'm going to start over at the top tier. Okay, it was about 4 rolls later, the 7 hit, and that's kind of on average because the average shooter only rolls 7 rolls before a 7 out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and rebet that betting style right there. I'm going to wait till a point is established on the come out roll, and again, they come in groups, right? Something to keep in mind. Part of the thing I have with observation of numbers, so to speak, and I notice patterns. I've always been one to see patterns, and it's kind of funny. Let's go ahead and fire it up for 1. Okay, now I get to go for a recovery. Now in this process, it's a matter of hitting it a few times and then waiting for the 7 and then regressing back down and taking things from there. So let's go ahead and hold on tight as I go through these 7s and wait for that to happen. Okay, the 7 came on the next roll. It's kind of waiting for a really nice long roll here. So I'm going to lay these out. And I'm going to hit it for 1. Okay, that's not cool. That happens too frequently. Again, I don't like simulators. I've never trusted them. So hold on tight. Okay, there's a reason why I don't like online gaming. Now, I've tested this strategy across 3-4 different platforms, and I wish I was recording this whole time, but you'd see 85% of all of the rolls are always hardway numbers, 4 and the 10, and very infrequently do I see a 5, 6, 8, or 9 during my wait. That's just not realistic mathematically to have 2, 3, 11, 12, 4, and 10s pop up all the time, and those middle numbers, you know, the inside numbers not hitting. That just doesn't make sense to me. And this is the reason why, again, I don't like online gaming. I despise it because I've never had, in all the testings, you can go through all my videos, I've never had a situation like this happen. And I've tested it across different platforms if you go back in all my videos. And I've never had anomalies like this happen. There just shouldn't be all of these numbers popping up that have less numbers of combinations. Not like it is. In every come out roll I've had trying to do that recovery at that top tier, it's always been a 3 or a 2. So that means I have to start all over again, and the next number after that, ironically, is like an 11 or 12. So somehow they're not allowing for the 5, 6, 8, or 9 to come up. Because again, 80% of the time, it's always those other numbers. So yeah, I'm down a little bit, which I'm not worried about. Of course, this is just a testing of the software for the most part. But I'll go ahead and I'll recover. And it's frustrating because I wish I had recorded it so you guys can see exactly what I've been up against. But to have the 7 come within every 3 rolls and not have a long set of rolls that happen, and additionally, once again, having those 2 3s, 11 and 12s pop up with hardly any inside numbers frequently, that just doesn't make sense. It doesn't jive with all of my other testings I've done. And so for that reason, that's why I advise everybody never to play online. I wish I'd recorded it so you could have seen what's going on, but it just doesn't make sense to me based on all my testings across the platforms. So I'm just going to go ahead and have to recover. I'm going to try that other software that I tried in the very first video. I didn't like, but of course I had better luck on that one because it gave me some longer strings versus this one, of course, as I repeat myself, 7's out every 3-4 rolls. And I don't know. In my mind, it's not to be trusted because a lot of people do like to press this and push this and do all that. And if this is the common sequence of how this algorithm of this stupid thing works, of course people are going to be pressing and pushing, and then they're going to be losing a lot of money. So without me rambling with too much frustration too much, that's just a heads up on why I really don't like simulator play on any casino, because it's just not realistic based on all of my other testings and my hundreds of videos that are on the site using different simulators along the way. So anyway, with that in mind, I'm going to bring this to a close in full transparency. And I hope you guys have a great day, a better tomorrow. And choke decop, which is Thai, that means best of luck to you guys. Take it easy.